Hello, I'm Mariah Zabel, and I'm here with my colleague,
Chimin Yang.
and welcome to the training on the School Site Council composition. We're from the Title I Monitoring and Support Office. We will be focusing on the Compensatory Education Monitoring Instrument, Item 5. As part of this presentation, we hope that you acquire the knowledge and understanding of the School Site Council, including its composition, peer selection and voting, along with some examples of sample ballots and evidence requests. Each year, a local educational agency applies for the Title I Part A funds through the Consolidated Application and Reporting System, also known as CARS. When the LEA receives Title I Part A funds, it must use local decision to operate one of two programs: a school-wide program or a targeted assistance school. The purpose of a school-wide program is to improve academic achievement throughout a school so that all students, particularly the lowest achieving students, demonstrate proficiency to the state's academic standards. A school-wide program requires a school plan for student achievement, SIPSA, and therefore the school is required to establish a school site council. Exceptions may be afforded to single site school districts or charter schools using the Local Control and Accountability Plan, LCAP, to serve as a SIPSA. A school site council is a group of teachers, parents, guardians, community members, other staff classified, principal or other designee, and or students who work together to complete the school's comprehensive needs assessment and develop, approve, implement, monitor, and evaluate a SIPSA, including the expenditures specified in the plan of Title I funds. Each school site council shall provide evidence of their election process, with peers electing peers. This means that parents elect parents, teachers elect teachers, other school staff elect other school staff, and students elect students when applicable. It is a legally required decision-making body for any school receiving Title I Part A funds and operating a school-wide program. Each school site council composition shall meet the minimum composition requirements, demonstrating parity between the school and community members on the school site council. Teachers must hold the majority for school staff serving on the school site council. Each school site council shall have an election process to allow peers to elect peers.
Now let's look at the school site council membership composition at the elementary school. At an elementary school, the SSC shall consist of both of the following groups. For school staff, the members must include the principal of the school or his or her designee. Classroom teachers employed at the school, school personnel employed at the school who are not teachers. For community, the members must include parents, guardians, and or community members within the school attendance area who are interested to support the school. Let's look at the member for each membership category at the elementary school. For school staff, there are 5 members, 1 principal, 3 teachers, 1 other staff. For community, there are 5 parent guardian members. There are 10 total members in both groups, 5 from the school staff, and then 5 from community members. Let's look at the school site council membership composition at the secondary school. At a secondary school, the school site council shall consist of both of the following groups. For school staff, the members must include the principal of the school or his or her designee. Classroom teachers employed at the school, school personnel employed at the school who are not teachers. For community, the members must include parents, guardians, community members, and students. Let's look at the members for each membership category. For school staff, there are 5 members. Again, 1 principal, 3 teachers, 1 other staff. For community members, there are 5. 1 parent guardian and 4 students, or 2 parents guardians and 3 students, or 3 parents guardians and 2 students, or 4 parents guardians and 1 student. There are 10 members in total for both groups, 5 members from school staff and 5 members from community. Let's look at the records of SSC peer selection that must be kept for legal reference. Evidence for SSC peer groups, for instance, nomination forms and notices for teachers, other staff, parent community members, and students at the secondary school. You must have these documents in place to address the legal requirements. Completed sample ballots with peer selection, voting results, and membership category for teachers, other staff, parents, and community members, and students at the secondary schools. Meeting minutes, voting records, etc. for teachers, other staff, parent, community members, students at the secondary schools. Before submitting the documents into the CMT, the students' names must be redacted. Please do not forget to do this so that no student or information can be identified in the system. Here are some SSC flexibilities for schools that have smaller number of student population. Flexibility in SSC requirements in Assembly Bill 716 allows 2 sites with a common site administrator may operate a shared SSC if the site has less than 300 students in combined student population. Up to 3 sites with a combined population of less than 1,000 may operate a shared SSC if the schools have at least one of the following characteristics: a shared campus and/or geographic proximity to one another with similar pupil population. A school with less than 300 pupils may operate an SSC that has the representation of all of the following: 1 principal, 1 teacher selected by the teachers, 1 school staff selected by the other school personnel. For an elementary school, 3 parents, guardians, or community members selected by parents, guardians. For a secondary school, 2 parents, guardians, or community members selected by parents, guardians, and 1 pupil selected by the pupils. The local governing board or body of the LEA shall obtain approval for its local bargaining unit if applicable. Flexibility continues. If you look at all the flexibility for your school and your school still is not able to meet the legal requirements to establish a valid school site council, you can request the State Board of Education to grant you a waiver. Therefore, a school district governing board or county board of education on behalf of an SSC may request that the State Board of Education grant a waiver to such a school. A single school site school districts or direct funded charter schools choose to use the LCAP to serve as the SIPSA, they do not have to establish a valid SSC, but instead need to adhere to the LCAP stakeholder community partner requirement in California Education Code Section 52062A. Let's look at the completed sample ballots. Here is a completed sample ballot for teachers at Perry's Elementary School. The completed sample ballots must include the school name, school year, date of peer selection, membership category, the names of candidates with marking to show peer selection. Here is a sample peer selection with results. It needs to include a school name, school year, date of peer selection, and result for each candidate. Here are the evidence requests for CE5. Current SSC roster with membership categories, records of SSC peer selections, a completed sample ballot with peer selection result for each membership category. The completed sample ballots must include a school name, SSC membership category, and date of peer selection. Again, students' names must be redacted before uploading the document into CMT. Please understand that a blank ballot does not meet legal requirements because I can create a blank ballot. You can create a blank ballot. A blank ballot means that you have not completed the peer selection process to establish a valid school site council. Therefore, a blank ballot does not meet legal requirements.
For questions or more information, feel free to contact our Title I office at 916-319-0854 or timzo@cde.ca.gov. At this time, Chemang and I will stop the recording to take questions during the live session. As a reminder, you may also reach out to your assigned region reviewer for specific questions for any of the CE items. Thank you, and we look forward to working with you during this FPM process.